Was that sultry enough for you?
3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of the S Bros podcast. I'm your host, Armando, with my co-host,
Aaron.
And today we're going to be speaking about the movie Dune, Part 1.
2021.
2021. We just went and saw it in the theater last night because on the first wave when it was released, we did not get to. But yeah.
For some reason, had no interest.
But yeah, I don't really remember what was going on, but now this is a line of work now, so we've got to speak about it.
Yeah. I saw it on Netflix like a year ago, just randomly. Had the day off, so I figured why not? Everybody else was busy with work, and as soon as I turned it on, I was captivated, sucked in, and loved it from start to finish. Getting to see it in theaters was a very fun experience.
Yeah, this wasn't the first time seeing it. I really liked the movie overall because I had seen parts of the original or the first movie because there's
the David Lynch one.
Yeah. There's been 2 adaptations of this. There's the movie with David Lynch.
3 because of the TV show.
That's what I was going to talk about. So this is the third one, and because the David Lynch movie and then the TV series.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then now we get this, which I think was definitely the most watchable. So I mean, nobody even talks about the TV series really.
No. You have a couple diehard fans that I've heard talk about.
Oh yeah, the cult following of this is huge. So. I cannot say I am such an adorned fan. I very much so love this movie. So
this movie's fantastic, but trying to watch a deep dive video on YouTube just explaining the basic premise of the book, that is a very long video.
Yeah, I mean hours long unless I don't remember that correctly.
No, it was like 6 hours long.
I like the detail of the universe a lot. It gives me that good space opera feel that the Star Wars universe gives me, just a little bit more detailed, and it kind of makes it out when you see the whole universe, how they have it written. It makes this moment in the movie series seem kind of just like a mundane point in history, which is interesting. Yeah. Like I like that feel of it when you get kind of the grasp of the storyline and when it's happening. But it's just, again, this is just another part of the galaxy's history and in this world, in this universe. So
yeah, it definitely did a better job at feeling like a more adult version of Star Wars. Basically, if Rebel Moon had followed in Dune's footsteps rather than more of Star Wars, I think they would have pulled something off pretty cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Overall, in the theaters, fantastic experience.
Can you name a couple of things that you did not like about it?
Well, number one is that Timothée Chalamet is the main character, and one of my toxic traits is personally believing that I would be able to portray that role better.
Oh my God. Yeah. You're right, dude. You're right.
With just give me like 3 weeks of an acting class, because I grew up doing that type of stuff. It wouldn't take long to dust the rust off of these training wheels. Here's
the real thing, is you don't look anything like Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, not at 28, but he. I don't know, how old is he?
Dude, you can just be honest. That's a hot boy right there, dude. That's a hot boy.
Hot little boy.
Yeah, and you're not a hot boy. You're not a hot boy.
When I was 20, I looked basically like that.
Dude, you're a dirty pirate. You're a dirty pirate.
Give me a chance to shave. I imagine I would clean up.
Give you a chance to clean up, and you'd look like a cleaner pirate.
Yeah. 6 months. That's half the time he took to train for all this crap, dude. I'd be able to do it.
Hey, I love the faith you have in yourself. Please keep that fire in life. Keep that fire in life.
That's just what. Oh shit, he's 28.
He's 28, dude. Yeah, he's interesting.
Yeah, but I'm older. Older.
Yeah, you are.
He was born in December 27th, 1995.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit more with less time is basically what it sounds like.
Yeah, but look at those genes. He's very scrawny, very European. Mm-hmm. I'm American.
Yeah, technically French, unless I'm mistaken about that.
He is American-French actor. Yeah. See, I'm the American version. I'd be able to do it just fine.
So, I'm
agile.
Other than your inflated ego, what do you think what do you feel that you disliked about this movie?
I Well, that scene where his hand is in the box in the beginning, and you go with him on his journey of gaining control of that and like isolating that pain and putting it out of his mind. But when he makes that cross-eyed,
I didn't agree with that choice of betrayal of feeling.
That cross-eyed of it was interesting. It made him look like his eyes were really close together.
It reminded me of that scene in the second Sicario movie where they're pulled up to the stoplight and I think they see like the little kid or the young teen or whatever who's going to start trying to be a hitman, and him and Benicio del Toro are sitting at the stoplight, and they show a picture of his face, and he's just making like the most stroked out face I've ever seen in my life, and you just can't help but it's just funny, like, you know, like that's
like
that
very
made it
interesting choice.
Yeah, somebody watched that sequence of scene and thought,
like, oh, that's bad.
That's the scene. That's the one we need. Perfect. Right there. Yeah. Do you see how he's looking?
You want to do it one more time?
You don't want to just try to run one more and just see him not being cross-eyed looks.
Yeah.
That's right. Because it takes you out of it almost immediately, and you're like, oh.
Because I'm down for that. I thought that was a very interesting portrayal, being able to actually see him capture those feelings and then put it out of his mind and really, like, you know, be the one. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I liked that. But
put that mic a little closer to your mouth.
Oh, okay. But the cross-eyed scene, yeah, that's the only thing about that I would change. Let's see. What else didn't... It's not like there were a bunch of things that I didn't like. Overall, it was very... I mean, before the whole Warner Brothers logo pops up, there's that deep voice that says something in a different language, so the subtitles are up there. I can't remember what it is, but like death is the dreams of men or something like that.
Here, dude, we can just Google that real fast.
Okay, we can Google that. But anyways, I thought that was really cool, and it captivates you. It captures you, so you're like, okay, hey, pay attention now. I like those moments in movies because it's all about how it starts. If you can capture me in the first 5 minutes of the movie, then I'm going to be hooked for the rest of it.
Yeah, and the like quote being in that deep voice, I think really draws you in. It says at a beginning is the time of taking the most delicate care. Oh, I don't think this is it.
That's not it.
Hold on. The quote, it just started populating. I'm just reading it. The quote at the beginning of Dune Part 1 is from the manual of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. Okay. Probably butchered that. It says, but I don't think this is it.
But like read through the quote. Maybe it's like maybe they took one line out of context.
Well, because right here it says the quote, "A beginning is the time for taking the most delicate care of the balances, that the balances are correct. This every sister of the Bene Gesserit knows." This quote sets the tone for the film as it I thought it was something about ashes of man or something like that.
Type in Dune 2021.
This is the one that comes over, Dune 2021.
I'm getting my phone.
Get the phone out, dude. Check it out. This is what it comes up for with this. The Bene Gesserits. But I like the tone that it comes through in the deep voice. Like, it really draws you in and makes you kind of pay attention to what's about to happen.
Absolutely.
And I like the bits of time. They don't set you up with much of the history or any of what some of these families have gone through. Like the House of Atreides and House of Harkonnen, and they don't really set you up with a whole lot of history. They basically just give you a little overview of what they've been up to, kind of, because they don't really tell you much about House of Atreides other than the fact that he's started to get kind of bold. I didn't really find out much about the history of House of Atreides until seeing that video breakdown. So
I found it.
What?
I was completely incorrect.
What's the opening quote?
But the opening quote is, "Dreams are messages from the deep."
There we go. There you go.
But that is not a line in the book at all.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
it's just they just made it.
So they put it in the movie just to like help set the tone and everything, and I think they nailed it.
Well, yeah, it got me in there. It got me in there. Messages, dreams are messages from the deep. Yeah. Yeah, cool. I do think that the casting for this also was very, very good.
Yep. Yeah.
I like the Skarsgård that plays Baron Vladimir.
Oh, dude. Mm-hmm. All those Skarsgårds, like there's now 4 that are all acting right now. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't know, they're impressive. Like I don't remember the name of that. I don't remember the other Skarsgård, the one that was in John Wick.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
I believe that's Bill. And then Alexander was the one who was Tarzan.
But much better for the Northman than Tarzan.
Yeah.
And he was in True Blood.
He was in True Blood. Mm-hmm. He was, I don't remember the name.
Well, last night you also said that you wish Jason Momoa's character, Duncan Idaho, was in the second part that was going to be. But you didn't. But you were okay with it because of the person he became. What do you mean by that?
Well, because I thought his character was fantastic. A really cool side character.
I figured you were talking about Jason Momoa.
Yes.
So yeah. What are you talking about?
So it's not that he's a bad actor, but how he portrayed Aquaman was not my favorite. How he was in Fast X was more of the same, and it's not like it wasn't entertaining in that moment. There was only one scene that I actually laughed at in that Fast X because of how outrageous his character was, and that was when he was having tea with the dead guys.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah,
but that was it. So who kind of like that whole yipping and shouting and hollering and stuff, like it's too much of trying to blend a personality of the real world and into your character, like
I'm the crazy island boy kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm an island boy.
He's the crazy island boy. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I don't think he'd be the same to have in the part 2.
No.
So
him without facial hair is also very interesting, and I don't think he would do that now.
But I loved his character in 100%. The movie. He was awesome, badass. Same with
Oscar Isaac. He was. I think he nailed that role. I had going into this, I had no history or like knowledge of the Dune universe, and I just thought it was an all around just good character.
Knowing nothing about it prior to watching it, because again, this wasn't my first time watching it in the theater, but I mean, it was first time watching it in the theater, but not the first time watching the movie. I thought that it really sucked me in. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty badass. And then seeing the rest of the world and knowing more lore, you just really appreciate the quality of that. And I think that the film portrayed the sequences it was supposed to, knowing a little bit more about the whole story of everything. So
one scene I liked a lot more this time around was before he left his homeworld, before why am I drawing a blank? Timothee's character's name. What's his character's name?
Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
I'm Paul.
That's a very basic name.
Mm-hmm. Paul Atreides. That makes me
before
laugh.
He leaves his homeworld, he's like walking on the beach one last time. He's sticking his hand in the water. He's like enjoying those scenes. And I have recently moved to a year ago, but I moved to a place that no longer has, the coastal line next to the forest and I miss all the nature stuff. I live smack dab in the middle of Texas. There's no nature stuff happening. You have a few preserves and those are nice, but you're always hearing like construction nearby, and it really takes you out of it. So I felt that scene.
When they get stuck to the desert planet, you're equating.
Dude, summer of 2023 here in Texas, it was like 33 consecutive days of 110. Okay.
I like how you're equating that desert planet to Texas.
This is Arrakis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Desert Arrakis. Yeah. You're right. I
miss the nature. So when he was like appreciating it one last time, I felt that.
Thank you, Timothée. What do you think about Three Way Zende?
Are you saying three-way Zende because of her new movie, Champions?
Yeah,
Challengers?
Champions versus Champions, two dudes. Yeah, dude. Totally. Yeah. No, Challengers where she takes two dudes. So,
interesting. Yeah.
Three-way Zende, dude.
I like how...
Poor Tom Holland.
For me, it's much better when a movie has, a talented actor or actress, a big-name person, but they're almost using them in a way where it has nothing to do with who they are. It's solely just on acting abilities. Mm-hmm. There are a few movies, like the Marvel movies, that really just have just a real person just putting on a costume, standing in front of a green screen, and just saying some lines. There's no real acting that happens in there. But in a movie like this, where it's not, big, massive Zendaya being sarcastic, making remarks here like this, doing that, kind of like... Not
just the sassy one.
Exactly. You get to see more of acting abilities, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Same with Javier Bardem. He was just fantastic, and he's in it for just such a little amount of time.
Hopefully he's in a little bit more part 2, because
I believe he will be.
He's one of my favorites. Again, Skyfall, one of the best James Bond movies ever.
Hands down.
Yeah, and then No Country for Old Men. He's an incredible bad guy.
Oh my God.
One of the best. Yeah, I think he's underrated.
Very, very.
But yeah, I think... did we end up...
Oh my God, he was also in Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
He was.
I never saw that.
He was. I did not either.
And that movie did terrible.
Yeah.
It's because he wasn't a villain. Was he a villain? I don't know.
I don't know. I never even saw it.
I don't know.
But I
just know Sam Smith was in it.
Sam Smith, Lord Almighty. What was my thought process going to be? Oh, did we ever look up what the ending after credit scene was for the sneak peek for Dune Part 2?
I didn't care.
But it comes out.
If you wanted to see it, we would have stayed to the end credits.
Well, I did kind of want to see it. Well, whatever. I can just Google it later.
What do you mean? You were making remarks making me feel bad. You wanted to stay?
I was sitting in my chair longer than you. You're the one who jumped up. Don't put your decisions on me, boy. Don't put your decision on me. What did you learn from watching The Northman? Not enough, dude. Not enough.
What?
It's got a really good score on Rotten Tomatoes, 83%. IMDb gave it 8 out of 10.
On Rotten Tomatoes, what's the audience score?
Let's take a gander. Audience score pulls up at 90%.
Okay, I can.
The tomato meter is 83%.
I can accept that.
Yeah, 90%.
The critics they're a little too.
The tomato meter, it's cool when it lines up like that. I generally go off audience score myself.
Same.
I mean, you got over 5,000 verified ratings that got that to the 90%, and the audience, there's only like 509 for the tomato meter.
You do have a larger audience ratio than you do critic, and all the critics, they're like, I don't understand why they're still holding on to the same snobby attitude that they had back in the 80s.
I agree.
So I do feel like the audience is the easier one to kind of judge off of, because as we live in society, we're able to kind of be aware of the waves that it kind of goes through.
They just don't seem to grow with culture. That's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah, that's
sometimes they get it close, but I generally have to go off of the audience scores.
I mean, they put Shaolin Soccer at 100%.
And that was hard for me to watch. So
that was really hard for me to watch.
I guess some people think differently about movies.
I don't understand that.
I guess some people, different strokes for different folks, I'd say.
Well, would that be a movie you would just put on mindlessly for your kids?
What?
Shaolin Soccer. Was there anything in there? Was there any inappropriate jokes? Like awooga-ing?
No, not really. No, not really. I can't.
What I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think so. I don't remember it well enough, to be honest with you. I just remember having a hard time watching it. Not at all. We're not going to be doing a review of Shaolin Soccer unless the fans ask us to. Then I guess we'll watch it and we'll do that.
That one scene where he's helping her make these like bao bun things.
I don't remember that
like
scene. I just remember
shoes.
them trying to like kick and score goals and stuff. See, it was just so bad. There's just nothing. There was nothing memorable.
We also
about it
saw that movie 9 years ago.
Yeah, and it just wasn't good in my then. Maybe who knows? Who knows?
Weird. Almost 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah, that was a long time.
We were traveling the country around then.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the soundtrack of Dune?
Hans Zimmer never misses.
No.
Hans Zimmer never misses.
Yeah, I thought that it was really they grip it really, really well.
Even that song Hans Zimmer by Marlon Craft, not as good as Hans Zimmer himself.
No, I agree with that.
But yeah, I thought overall it was a really good score. I cannot wait to see what happens in the second one. You know that main vocal that drops. Hey, hey. Yeah, that one. I love every time it happens. In the theaters, it's very cool. The one we saw it in had great speakers.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that, but again, shout out to Auditorium 5 of the Central Cinemark.
Here in Plano, Texas.
Bussin' speakers, I believe the term is.
Auditorium 5.
Auditorium 5. Yeah, I'm excited for Dune Part 2. I think it's going to be really good. I am excited to see how they do it.
Now, on the same kind of vein of conversation, when we were in the auditorium watching Dune Part 1, we saw a preview for Furiosa. Now, like the whole Mad Max saga thing. I will go see it. I am excited because Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my personal favorite actresses, and it has absolutely nothing to do with her acting abilities. But Chris Hemsworth is also can be entertaining. He can be entertaining. And so I do think that the cast is at least equipped enough to be able to handle something like this. I hope they use more practical effects than I think that they're going to. I really hope that I get pleasantly surprised about that, because Fury Road was damn near perfect. Damn near perfect.
I can agree with that. I liked Fury Road a lot. Yeah, it looks interesting. It'll depend. Again, I really like the practical effects of the first part.
Do you remember hearing the rumor back in Fury Road where Justin Bieber was one of the bikers?
No.
You don't remember that?
I don't.
I wonder if that ever came out to be true or not.
You should look that up, actually.
I'm going to look that up really quick.
I'd never heard of that before. I like that. I don't know. I think that this movie really did a good job by driving home, like opening Dune to a wider audience, a newer audience too. Because I know that there's some pretty old school diehard Dune fans. Again, it's got a pretty big cult following, but so some of them I've heard have some negative opinions about this adaptation of Dune. Personally, I think it made a lot of the stuff that was unpalatable about the original Dune more palatable. The other stuff in Dune is just a little too dated.
Okay, the thing that I had learned, or that I had heard way back when, and then this was like, what, 2016? Okay, it was a long time ago. A lot of things were coming across the internet, but yeah, no, that was just a rumor.
So I can't expect to find JB in there?
Well, he was one of the bikers that had a helmet and a face covering, and so, like, someone said that he was such a big fan, like, they got him in there. It was a whole big rumor or whatever. Clearly not true.
Yeah.
But I do remember when Justin Bieber was on CSI and he got gunned down by the police.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's funny watching some of those old like CSI.
Zac Efron and yeah, he was in a couple.
John Krasinski and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you see all these old, like these stars now that played little drug dealers or something like that. Yeah, Dune Part 2 will be exciting to go and see. I think that throughout the trailers that we got to see also, they had some good movies that are looking like they're coming up. We saw the trailer for Two Twisters.
I have, not Two Twisters, just Twisters.
Oh, it's just called Twisters?
It's just called Twisters. So what I have pulled up right now, is because this just came across when I was pulling up some information for the Furiosa movie, but the Fury Road, the Mad Max Fury Road Chrome Edition, After watching Godzilla -1 minus color, there's a really cool appreciation that I have for modern movies done in black and white. And we're just going to have to make a note about what time this is so we can edit out this little section of me showing you the sandstorm scene, because I have that pulled up right now. You're going to want to watch the rest of the movie with me, because seeing that, I'm like, oh my God, I have to pull this up right now. So we'll take a pause. Take a pause.
A video
and then
pause.
We'll come back
and we're back.
Okay. So what'd you think of that?
That was an awesome. I like that. When it comes to having movies that are more practical effects driven, black and white always looks so good.
Yes, 100%. Shout out to Nicholas Hoult for just doing an amazing job. From Warm Bodies to that, amazing job.
Yeah, it shows a really good depth of acting ability, in my opinion, because he can do a good spectrum of stuff. And I don't like whatever you felt about Warm Bodies. I think that I would call him a good actor.
Yes,
I would call him
100%.
a good actor.
I didn't really like the whole Beast portrayal in the new X-Men movies.
No.
But I think that was mainly just a director's decision, rather than his. I don't know if he had much creative input on such a character.
Probably not.
It wasn't bad. Parts of it were cool. I liked how he, was a little bit of both. But yeah, I didn't necessarily think he should have been in that role, especially with who we had beforehand. And it's theoretically, because of Days of Future Past, it was then supposed to be the later version. It was like they just looked too different for me to really to buy that.
I agree. Who do you think should have been Beast then?
Pause for dramatic effect. Other than myself, I have no idea.
You're never on the ballot for any of these things, so no.
One of these days. Morgan Freeman didn't start acting until he was 41.
That's true. You're not Morgan Freeman.
When did Jimi Hendrix die? When he was 40?
Welcome back, Jimi Hendrix. Welcome back.
Have you seen those pictures? They do look a little similar.
Not the same, because they don't, but they look similar.
Get you thinking about other conspiracies with celebrities. Like how Elvis, the Elvis one.
No, I don't know.
The Avril Lavigne one.
No, what?
No. You've never heard?
No.
Okay, so one, Elvis and Tupac that their deaths were faked.
I've heard that.
Yeah. But Avril Lavigne, she was replaced by a doppelganger.
Interesting. Why do people say this?
Because her facial structure is very different from when we first saw her to where she is now. Like, we're talking cheekbone structure and everything. So things that can't get fixed with plastic surgery. Well, I guess technically unless you had full facial reconstructive, but she looks too different, but still similar. Like, just type in Avril Lavigne clone.
Doppelganger.
Replacement, clone, whatever. Type in that.
Has intrigued fans and internet sleuths for years. According to the theory, Avril Lavigne allegedly replaced by a lookalike named Melissa Vandella in 2003. Here's a closer look at the mysterious tale. Can I see pictures of this?
Free Avril, 2024.
Hashtag free Avril. Here, let's look. Avril Lavigne.
2002, then 2004.
Avril Lavigne differences. Images. Interesting.
You're seeing it, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Like enough to ask questions. Kind of like the earthquakes underneath Utah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, things.
Now, But see, is this like the Mandela effect? Like, did she not ever really look like that? And is like, because I'm looking at some of these pictures, I'm like, did I really know?
Let me ask you, does it say when that post was made?
What do you mean? What post?
Anything that you're looking at.
I'm just looking at these pictures of her when she's like.
But everything that you're looking at, was it posted after 2012?
I have one from 2007 and one from 2020.
Well, shit, that blows my theory out of the water.
Yeah, but she does look remarkably different.
Remarkably different.
Weird, dude. Weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that actually so that's a good point. Good point. Wow, I can't. That just blew my mind a little bit. So I'm like, trying to think about that. But they've been cloning people. They can clone people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that's clearly not a clone because it doesn't look anything like her. So, well, I mean, it kind of looks like her.
It looks like her enough.
Doesn't look nothing like her.
It looks like her enough for like international shit, but closer looks.
Yeah, but a clone would be spot on.
True.
Yeah, that's why I think it's not necessarily a clone. It's a doppelganger.
A spot on clone. Dude, that means Omega is going to be so ugly when she's older.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, nothing against Tamara Morrison. He's not ugly, but
an ugly woman.
But an ugly woman, I would say.
Why? I haven't seen a meme about that.
I have.
Really?
I've seen a couple.
That's hilarious. Oh, what a weird choice of character. Anyway, so yeah.
I've seen memes about Omega showing up in Ahsoka season 2.
Really?
And it's just a Photoshop Tamara Morrison with a wig.
That's pretty good. I love Tamara Morrison.
Me too.
It's too bad that he got down on that Aquaman train.
I
can understand.
I loved the first one.
The first Aquaman is actually very fun.
I want to watch the second, but I don't want to commit to watching the second. Like, I want to have the knowledge of what happens without actually having to sit there and watch it.
I know what you mean. Well, we're about a half hour in, so I think now's a good time to stop.
Sure, half hour again.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say to you.
Yeah, Dune 1.
Dune was great. Oh, that is what we started talking about originally. What else did you have anything else to say about Dune?
Nope. I pretty much said everything I felt
about it. The
Sardaukar
are cool as hell.
Yeah. I do really like how they do the soldiers. I like the aesthetics of every character. They did makeup and design very, very well. Yeah.
Jason Momoa's character. I love how in moments when he's fighting the Sardaukar, you can see him he's moving those blades to them very quickly, but once he gets to the shield, he like slows down and you can see that moment happen in the movie. I find that very cool.
Knowing that their fighting style factors in the shields.
As someone who lived in the Himalayas with the Tibetan monks for 3 years, training every day, I really appreciate martial arts scenes.
Dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
I really appreciate the martial arts in movies. Like The Raid, 100% accurate.
Thank you for your professional opinion on that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No,
it's
but
like that scene in Shang-Chi. It's like, I can't remember what he says exactly, but he's talking about being able to like watch and judge and comment on these people fighting on the bus scene.
That's right. I've been doing martial arts for a couple of years, so I will kind of give a...
I think it was 6 months.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. And he's just like, I'm gonna give a breakdown of what's going on here from my martial arts background. Yeah.
That was the same dude who told Spider-Man to do a flip.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, no, that's about...
Oh my God, maybe that's why he said do a flip, because he knew like that's tough to do for regular Joes.
Maybe that is why, actually. There you go. Some logic behind it. Well, all right. So I say we call it. Yeah. We're going to be watching...
I loved his mom, Paul Atreides.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a great actress.
I also like her.
As the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
She's really good in Mission Impossible. I swear I have nothing else to say about this movie.
She is. I'm pretty sure. She was really good in Mission Impossible. And
did you hear
Lady Jessica?
That it's no longer going to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2?
No. Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah, they dropped that entirely.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it'll just be another Mission Impossible. It won't be like part 1 and part 2.
Nice.
It'll make rewatching Dead Reckoning kind of dumb.
Yeah, I think that they kind of doomed this ending part of this to fail. So we'll see. It depends. It'll have to hit hard.
The 10-year period from 2018 to 2028 essentially is going to be with half-assed projects from the pandemic versus what people are able to do during the strike versus all this. Like it's a rough patch. We're in a real rough patch when it comes to movies.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out. I mean,
especially year with all the animated movies and how those studios are being treated, it's gonna take time.
Well, the animated, again, they've got to iron out some kinks to how they operate in some of these areas. But yeah, we've got some good movies coming out this year, but we'll see kind of how the future goes. Yeah. We're gonna have some ups and downs.
I firmly believe that Deadpool 3 will be the kind of deciding factor for how the future of superhero movies goes.
We'll see.
We are in a very, very difficult spot right now. Well,
yeah.
I'm talking society as far as being able to accept those, because Madam Web is going to be garbage. I came across a story that said the Sony CEOs and all those higher ups were so impressed by the script of Morbius that they put that guy on to do the script of Madam Web. So here we go.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So they were so impressed.
I don't know.
With Morbin time.
I'm not entirely sure how factual that is, but yeah.
Yeah. I do have no sources and no credibility whatsoever, so I can't forget that part. But I am a consumer, and I do have an opinion. So, yeah, I think that if Deadpool 3 isn't watchable and rewatchable, then we definitely need to stop.
Yeah, superhero movies need to take a pause.
Yeah. Batman aside, because...
That's not a superhero.
He's not a superhero.
That's a vigilante.
And they've really... We got one good movie out of the 10 years with Ben Affleck. And I'm not even talking about Ben Affleck's movies. I'm just saying, there was one good Batman during... Oh, God, yeah.
Which one?
The Rob Bat.
I agree.
Yeah. That's the only good one. Mm-hmm. That was the only good portrayal of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
100%. I agree.
In a very long time.
Hopefully they can at least get some upward trajectory with this.
As many issues as I have with The Dark Knight Rises, there's some really perfect Batman moments.
Yeah, I agree. I think they really capture it well.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think a lot will rest on Deadpool's shoulders.
That's all I gotta say.
That's it. Everybody, until next time. Have a good day.
Laters.